G'day from the creation guy John Mackay, and I'm here with my creation colleague Joseph.
Hello.
And we've got a mystery for you today, and it's to do with the stones, the gravel that's here, and the trees in the forest, and behind me there's a canal. But first of all, Joseph, we'd better tell them where we are.
We are at Chirk in Wales, and it's even spelt real funny as well. It's spelt C-H-I-R-K.
But that's not the mystery. But you'd still better tell us how come it's Chirk. What does it mean?
It simply means a place where somebody went to a church.
So we're here in Wales, we've got stones on the ground, lots of gravel through the hill, forest on this side, and a canal behind us, and a real mystery to solve. Follow us down the hill. Joseph, we're down here by the Chirk Canal.
Here we are.
The ducks are enjoying the water, and this is where the mystery starts.
It really does.
Do you think?
Right, well what I have with me here is a pH tester. Now pH stands for power of hydrogen. What it really does is measure the acidity or how alkaline different substances are, like water. Like the water here outside in the canal. So what we're going to do, we're going to use this little machine to be able to measure the pH and how alkaline or how acidic this water is. There we go. Just take a measurement. There we go. 8.72. Now that is far higher than canal water should be.
Okay, Joseph, time for a second check. 8.72 for sure.
Absolutely, definitely.
Listen, there's the tunnel.
There
the
it
rest
is.
of the mystery. Been here for a couple of 100 years.
Yes, indeed. Let's
Okay.
go find out.
Now we're here in the Chirk Tunnel. The canal boats go all the way through. There's 5 layers of bricks held together by cement put here several hundred years ago. And up the top, there's little stalactites. But as you just get in, there's what look like cave growths. But then they stop halfway along. Mystery. Now Joseph's gonna check the pH all the way along, see if we can solve what's happening here.
Let's go and check down here. Okay, take the pH down here. There we go. 8.29. So now we've taken the pH of the canal water, we're going to find out what the pH of the drip water from all of these stalactites that are running down the cave walls. So here we've been collecting the dripping water from the cave type growths. Now we're going to take the pH. So we're going to come down here. That's with our pH meter. And there you go, 8.63.
Now in a dark cave, so Joseph, lights please. You see up on the top we've got stalactites, we've got cave-like growths, but are they the same as in caves? In the caves they supposedly take vast ages. At the most these are 200 years old. So are they made of the same material? Let's get Joseph to run a test.
So the question we're asking is, are these cave type formations the same as the ones found in caves? And you see the mineral that cave stalactites are made from is called calcium carbonate. And there's a very simple chemical test to find out if they are the same. What you do is you get hydrochloric acid. You put a few drops onto your formation, and if there's calcium carbonate in it, it'll froth and bubble all over the place. So let's do that test now and find out, are these exactly the same? Well, here is our hydrochloric acid. We get our little bit on there. And there you go, you can see it froths and bubbles all over the place. Completely and provably calcium carbonate, exactly the same as what is found in caves. So here we have one of the natural springs coming out of the side of the tunnel here. We've just taken a pH measurement for it. There it is there, 7.97. And the highest we've found all the way down this tunnel is 8.9, which tells you one very important thing. The calcium, the carbonate which is making these limestones, is not coming from the cement. But where is it coming from? What is the real clue to our mystery here? So here we are at the end of Chirk Canal Tunnel. Now, one thing you will notice immediately is all those lovely limestone formations that we had down at that end of the tunnel have almost completely disappeared at this end. There are none of those lovely vales and limestone formations here at all. What is going on? And what is the solution to this great mystery? And more importantly, what has this actually got to do with anything that's important? What is the relevance of this? Well, you see, us at Creation Research have had the opportunity to debate many atheists over the years, and one of the most interesting comments we get from them is that there is no evidence for evolution in any of the fossils, but the Earth is so old, evolution must have happened. And one of the biggest evidences that is used for an old Earth is that stalactites and stalagmites take hundreds of thousands or millions of years to form. Therefore, the Bible simply cannot be true. But here at Chirk Tunnel, that is really challenging that. But is there a way that we can conclusively prove that these tites and mites here at Chirk Canal Tunnel are exactly the same as the ones in the caves? And what are some of the experiments that we can really do? What is the solution? John, over to you.
Now, over there is England, and over here is Wales, and this is the famous Chirk Canal Tunnel, built in the early 1800s by brilliant engineer Thomas Telford. And does it imitate a cave? Because man-made structures with cement stalactites are regarded as, well, they happen too fast. They're not exactly the same as caves. How could we prove this is a great replication and wonderful evidence things happen much faster than people think? Now here we are with our man-made cave, but how much does it represent a real cave? Because the stalactites here and the stalagmites grow really quickly. In a limestone cave, they're supposed to grow really slowly. The cement here, we put it here 200 years ago. Or it does look like a cave. It's always dark. The locals tell us it's always moist. It's always cool. In fact, it's pretty still because Thomas Telford actually designed his tunnels to minimise the wind. Clever engineer. But have you noticed, as we've gone through, we've measured the pH, the acidity or the alkalinity? Now, Joseph's going to do an experiment shortly in which we'll show you what happens with cement today. And then remember, this was put together with cement, and the pH is a clue. In fact, what is the pH in real caves, and how does it affect things? Joseph, back to you.
So we've come here to our back garden to do a little experiment. You see, what we've got here is some modern cement, the same kind of cement that was used back at Chirk Canal Tunnel. But we're going to do a pH test and find out what the pH of this cement is compared to the pH of the cement that we took back in the tunnel. So we're going to get a little bit of our cement, like that, a little bit of water, and then we mix it up together. So what we're doing here, we're going to make ourselves some mixed up cement, the same kind of stuff that was used back in the tunnel, and we're going to see what the pH measurements are. Because if you remember, back in the tunnel, the pH measurements were somewhere between 8.2 and 8.9. Just like the ones in the caves. But let's see what this cement comes up as. This fresh, brand new cement that we've literally just mixed up. There we go. All lovely and mixed. We've got our pH tester here, turn it on, pop it in, and there you go. You can see that it is over 15, way higher than at Chirk Canal Tunnel and way higher than in any cave around the world. You see, this cement, this fresh cement, has got a really, really high pH measurement, unlike Chirk Canal Tunnel. Now what that means is that the cement that was used in Chirk Canal Tunnel has turned back into limestone, calcium carbonate, exactly the same as all the caves around the world. The pH tells you that. The fact that the fresh cement is really high and the old cement has changed. The pH is low. So it's changed back into limestone. It's exactly the same as all the caves. So let's go back to Chirk Canal Tunnel and find out the one last piece to the puzzle.
Have you noticed that Joseph in his modern cement experiment got a pH higher than 10? You can even get them as high as 14. And all modern cement buildings or cement bridges will grow stalactites, and they definitely and provably have a high pH. But our cave here, or our man-made tunnel actually, it had a pH from 8.9 down to 7.2. Exactly the same as you got in limestone caves. What's the mystery? Well, the fact is, the cement that was put in here 200 years ago has rechanged back to calcium carbonate, limestone, just like in the limestone caves. You don't need millions of years to make stalactites, you need the right process, and this man-made cave is showing you. You don't need time. When you've got the right process, they can happen really quickly. But why does it matter, Joseph?
Well, you remember that point we made earlier. The atheist professors that we debate say that there is no evidence for evolution in any of the fossils, but the Earth is so old, evolution has to be true. But that is complete rubbish. We've just shown that here. The idea that stalactites, stalagmites and limestone calcium carbonate formations take hundreds of thousands or millions of years to form is complete rubbish. We've seen it happening in experiments all around the globe. Not just here, but in the United States and also in John's home country in Australia. Real experiments being run on stalactites, stalagmites, calcium carbonate and limestone formations. It's all about the right process. Get the right process, it happens very quickly. Get the wrong process, it doesn't happen at all, or you take millions of years to do it. If you want to find out more about these experiments that have been going on around the globe, go to www.creationresearch.net. But you see, there is one final piece of the puzzle. And to explore that, back to you, John.
Did you notice we're in total forest at this end? At this end is where all the stalactites and stalagmites and cave formations are. It's been cleared above us halfway across, and at that end there's hardly any stalagmites and stalactites and cave formations at all. You see, one of the things that's becoming really clear is it's not just the chemistry of calcium hydroxide, it's not just the chemistry of calcium carbonate, it's not just CO2 and water, there's actual biological factors that make it go even faster. I mean, you have bacteria in your gut. We have bacteria that actually absorb calcium carbonate and use it for building. And what you find here is the mulch, the bacteria, are actually speeding up the whole of this. In other words, you've got the wrong process, you need the right bacteria if you want to make it happen really quickly, and that's what's happening here. And in fact, in the caves around the world, more and more we're beginning to discover it's not just the water, it's not just the mineral, it's the bacteria that are speeding things up. You can get rid of your millions of years. In fact, there's nothing contradicting 6,000 years and 6 days of creation.
Not at all, not at all.
Go for more to www.creationresearch.net.